Well, hello and welcome back, my body language buddies. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the body language guy, and welcome to episode number 28 of the Jesus Enrique Rosas show. We have a great show today. We survived whatever I began to do yesterday. Yesterday was quite intense. And I told you yesterday that, well, today is the day I will be permanently banned from the United Kingdom and Canada. I don't know if I was actually banned. What I do know is that at least YouTube had no problem with whatever. Maybe YouTube hates Keir Starmer as well and Justin Trudeau. So no problems on that side. And getting started with today's show, we have good news. North Korea, I don't know if this is satire or what. You know that this is a problem these days. So much things happening, so many things happening that you don't know what is satire and what is real. But North Korea says it will become British refugees fleeing. It will welcome British refugees fleeing Keir Starmer's dictatorship. Not gonna lie, you know that we men have this thing that we sometimes wish that we could do crazy things. At some point, I thought about, going on a trip to North Korea. Was this guy called Lord Miles? Like 3 months ago, he was organizing a tour to Afghanistan. I don't know, maybe at some point, maybe right now at this point of my life, maybe it's not a good idea, but maybe at some point, I might go visit these places. North Korea, I remember that this was this channel from this guy, Alex Tienda. He went to North Korea. Those videos were just awesome. This is not tourism advice, please. If you go to North Korea, it's under your own responsibility. But talking about dictatorships, Trudeau called Trump tonight in an absolute panic to discuss the border. My guess is Trudeau will comply to Trump's demands and our border will be secure. Thank you, President Trump, for forcing our government to do something about our unsecure border on both sides. Make Canada great again. This is something that we need. We need this example on every country to enforce borders once again. I was finding out about sanctuary cities, and I thought that the sanctuary city concept is something that, when did this start? And it was actually from the 80s, in which some churches in the United States decided, well, we're going to receive some refugees from Guatemala and another country, and Nicaragua. I think it was Guatemala, Nicaragua. I don't really remember. And those churches call themselves sanctuaries in the sense that they have to essentially fight the U.S. government hosting these people fleeing from these countries. But eventually, because you know that people have some kind of competition, then some cities began to call themselves sanctuary cities in the sense that it was not only a church that was trying to protect these people fleeing these countries. It was entire cities, and I found out that the first city that was called a sanctuary city was San Francisco in 1985. So I don't think that was a good idea. San Francisco was officially the first sanctuary city, and where is San Francisco right now? How do you say the people of San Franciscans? How do you call people who live in San Francisco? How do you call them? Well, how are they doing now? Well, they are doing not as good as us, because I had to deal with this. Joey Reid just posted this on TikTok. I saw it, so now you have to. And yes, I like to torture you a bit. And she uploaded this to, maybe you have to be careful if you have If you are prone to seizures, I should have warned you. If you're prone to seizures, you will have a seizure just from the flashing lights or the sheer narcissism of this. Who posts this on TikTok? At least it's TikTok and not Tinder. That is a good thing, okay? Because that would be the quickest swipe left ever. That would be the quickest swipe left ever. So, some of you, I saw a comment that you're asking, why do I spell on my titles more the way I do? I spell the word more as in MOAR. That is an inside joke that comes from my Royal Rogue channel, and I began doing this on purpose because, you know, it's like this this cat memes, this lingo from cat memes, and I just stood with it more. And that's why I spell more like that. What else do we got? Oh my God! I try to give hope to humanity, but at the same time, we need to face and we need to realize, we need to be clear about what is going on in the world right now. And one of the things going on is this trend that if you have issues in your life, they used to tell you to go to a therapist. They used to tell you to go to a psychiatrist, but now they are outright telling you that it's a good idea to. Have you tried assisted suicide? And there's this video, there's a clip of this suicide doctor in Canada, a woman that some of you asked me to analyze. I have that on my to-do list. You know that I have had to make standalone videos besides my live show, but we have this thanks to The Little Platoon. The Little Platoon is one of my favorite channels on YouTube, talking about movies. It makes great analysis and great dissections of movies. Modern Britain, where you're not allowed to advertise fast food or women in bikinis on the tube, but pushing self-deletion is absolutely fine. So, yes, all right. The Westminster Death Tunnel, sponsored by Dignity in Dying. And what do we have here? What is this? When I cannot stay, let me choose how I go. All right. I'm a guitarist and mom, terminal breast cancer. All right. Okay. That is, sometimes that is, I have to tell you one thing. My dying wish is to know I have choice. My dad didn't. I have to tell you, I am not that against euthanasia. You know, I'm not going to elaborate on what I believe. You know, I'm a Christian, but I have tailored my beliefs to having a perspective in the universe and existence. I'm not going to elaborate it. It's too early in this live stream, maybe at the end. But yeah, sometimes it's the right thing to do. People are suffering. There's no way to have a solution. Maybe sometimes it could be the way to go, but it is so odd to have these huge posters on the tube, the London subway, having like this commercial approach to euthanasia. How do they say that, by the way? It's a bit euthanasia.
Euthanasia.
Euthanasia. Oh, it's like the Megadeth. It's like the Megadeth record of euthanasia.
Euthanasia.
Euthanasia. Yeah. Why would you say like this? It's like you are advertising a trip to the Bahamas or something like that. Although if it was a trip to Switzerland, well, it could make sense, right? But it's like, oh yeah, take this tour to the Bahamas, or I don't know how this works. I don't know how this works. I don't know. I need to laugh at this. We need to laugh at this because how, and you have this lady dancing. My dying wish is my family won't see me suffer and I won't have to. Yeah, in some instances that is, but imagine how depressing can this be that you have this, oh yeah, I'm just happy that I'm going to die tomorrow. This is dystopian. This is completely what is going on with her. Maybe she's happy that she will not have to prepare breakfast for the whole family anymore. I don't know. I'm trying to make fun of this, and I'm having a very hard time. And the little platoon has another take on this. Yes, a Megadeth reference. So many of you already know that I'm a very big fan of heavy metal, thrash metal, everything that has to do with metal. The little platoon also says, the absurdity has nothing to do with your stance on euthanasia, is that the state thinks you can't be trusted to choose your own meals, but you can be trusted to choose your own death. It's like you have these regulations about what can be advertised on the tube. That is the absurdity that he's calling out. Junk food ads might influence you to make bad choices, so they must be banned, but euthanasia, that is okay. Euthanasia is cheaper for NIH than diabetes medications or cardiac bypass surgery for people who overindulge in McDonald's. That's true. It is easier to suggest people to off themselves in a humane way than to treat them for diabetes. Economically is in financial terms, it is true, which makes it doesn't make this any better, to be honest. And smokers both make and save the NHS a huge amount of money compared to non-smokers, but we are not supposed to do that, apparently. I mean, I love satire. And I love the kind of things. If I have written fiction sometimes, short stories, and my short stories are full of satire and parody and humor and dark humor, and well, I can be into, I'm into that. But how can you go for parody and satire when real life is catching up too quickly? And sometimes it's a matter that people don't know, don't have any self-awareness at all. I saw this, the London Economic, and I saw this thought about Elon Musk. If a monkey hoarded more bananas than it could eat, while most of the other monkeys starved, scientists would study that monkey to figure out what the heck was wrong with it. When humans do it, we put them on the cover of Forbes. We are not talking about bananas. We are not talking about bananas. Natalie, this is Natalie Robin Justice, that I guess that she thinks that she's being so clever. And one shout out to Adam Kriegler, who, well, sets the record straight about the real thing. Monkeys don't use bananas to save free speech, put humans on Mars, make reusable rockets, give internet connection to the world, and lead the world in electric vehicles. Yeah, this is the problem, that people just see money in, money out. And this is published by something called the London Economic, that I hope that it doesn't have anything to do with London besides the name. But that's the thing. That is the thing that it's oh, you are so clever. No, you're not so clever. I'm pretty sure that you must be fun at parties, Natalie, but no, you are not. You absolutely not. And Donald Trump has something to say about Mexico. Let's talk about tariffs now that we are talking about the economy. Let's talk about tariffs, that so many people have got tariffs wrong. That they say that, oh, if you impose those tariffs on China, then all the things that we consume in the United States will be more expensive. No, it would mean that it would stimulate to things to be produced in the United States, and it will discourage people from buying things from Mexico or China or anything that comes from abroad. And that's what tariffs are for. And Donald J. Trump posted this. As everyone is aware, thousands of people are pouring through Mexico and Canada, bringing crime and drugs at levels never seen before. Right now, a caravan coming from Mexico, composed of thousands of people, seems to be unstoppable in its quest to come through our currently open border. I'm going to jump forward to a section of today's show so you can see what we are talking about, because it's important that you see it for yourself. And in this context, here you are. This is the caravan that Trump was talking about. It was a share on X. All these people, it's like it's open season. It's open season, and there's all this very concerning situation. What is going on? Why are all these people going to the United States? And you already know the answer. It's because Biden has the border open, and they will let everyone in until January 20th. You know that it's even on January 20th. I can imagine that on January 20th, it's going to be, okay, it's now or never. And they're letting all the people they can. And I could imagine Biden just picking up the phone, or more than Biden, Obama picking up the phone and telling everyone, calling Maduro, do you have any more criminals that you want to send us? It is now or never. Send us all the criminals right now. That would be the kind of calls that Barack is making, because, they want to make Trump's mandate as miserable as possible, as difficult as possible. And this is a way that they will do it unless Mexico cooperates. Then what is the strategy here? On January 20th, as one of my many first executive orders, I will sign all necessary documents to charge Mexico and Canada a 25% tariff on all products coming into the United States, and its ridiculous open borders. This tariff will remain in effect until such time as drugs, in particular fentanyl, and all illegal aliens stop this invasion of our country. Both Mexico and Canada have the absolute right and power to easily solve this long simmering problem. They have to cooperate, because people are literally going into Mexico and Canada and then going into the United States, invited by the Biden-Harris administration. And they are so bitter right now, both Biden and Kamala, that they are speed running the destruction of whatever they claim to be leading, because they are not the leaders, they're just puppets. Both Mexico and Canada have the absolute right and power to easily solve this long simmering problem. We hereby demand that they use this power, and until such time that they do, it is time for them to pay a very big price. And what happened? Well, we already know that Trudeau picked up the phone immediately. He picked up the phone and called Trump. I know that we can get to an agreement. We can get to an agreement over this stuff. And Mexican president folding after just one phone call with Trump as well. That she was so bad. So she said that had this attitude. But no, after that call with Trump, they seem to be okay. Tariffs floated by Trump would target Mexican exports. The automotive industry alone, an important sector in the country, could be among the most bloodied. The bloodbath You remember the bloodbath, the hoax of the bloodbath that they were talking about China and the automotive industry? Those tariffs are put in place so people begin buying cars made in the United States. That is the way to go. That is the way to go. According to the U.S. International Trade Administration, vehicle production, including the manufacturing of parts and technology for cars, is one of Mexico's most significant industries. And guess who's one of their most important clients? United States. So if you don't close the border, we are going to tariff you all the way to the Yucatan Peninsula, and they are not liking it. It is working already. It is working already. Donald Trump is not yet the president of the United States, but he already is setting the things into place. Maybe if the Biden-Harris administration still have the border open, maybe he can force Mexico to close the border themselves. That sounds nice. That sounds power politics. That is power politics. That's the way that you are. We could. I'm seeing that Caitlyn Jenner hints at running for governor of California in 2026. That's something that I'm seeing right now in my. Let me put this right away in my timeline. You know that this. The magic of this show is that it's so interactive. I have my X Pro right now. I need to mention this. Caitlyn Jenner hints at running for governor of California in 2026. Would you support this? I don't know. Maybe Caitlyn would have to run against Kamala Harris, who is thinking of running for governor of California. And maybe Meghan Markle should run for governor of California. It's maybe that so many things that can happen, and that's crazy things that we could be talking about, as long as Caitlyn fixes all the stuff that Newsom has been doing as of late. And in terms of that, now that we are talking about insanity, and we mentioned Caitlyn Jenner, who is quite sane by today's standards. I mentioned an account yesterday was gays against groomers. This is an account that calls out so much crazy things, and I saw this tweet. I had to share this with you. We are gay, and even we have no idea what the F these are. The madness has to stop, and we have all this. What is this? All these flags. Non-binary man, gender tulip, fawn boy, lesbian gender, outie gender, outie dolic, doll punk, cute scare, cute frill. What is this? Does this multiply at night like gremlins? I don't know. Does this multiply at night? And well, what does multiply at night is the memes. On Snow White, I already did an analysis of the latest trailer, but the memes are not gonna stop. The memes are not gonna stop. The Babylon Bee, evil queen tries turning magic mirror off and turning it on again after it says the fairest of them all is Rachel Ziegler. Yeah, the mirror should be faulty. You have to reset that. Reset the mirror, because no, that ain't it. That ain't it. That ain't it. All right. So many of you are from California. So many of you are from California. Debbie, I choose to stay in Cali. So many have left. We need to fix so many things. We need to fix New York. We need to fix California. We need to fix New York City, San Francisco, one of my favorite cities in the United States. We need to fix them in some way. In some way, we have to do it. Let me see. What do you think? What do you think about this? Let me see your comments. See your comments before we move on to the actual stuff. Open lots of asylums. They are very much needed. Oh my God. And not speaking of asylums, I was about to talk about myself. It's not that I'm crazy. You already know that. Well, yesterday's show was really cathartic. I needed yesterday's show. Some of you were concerned, oh, Jesus, we don't like you using those harsh words. You're a gentleman. Sometimes people like Keir Starmer and Justin Trudeau deserve that. And you know that that is not something that I'm going to say it all the time. And by the way, it's that wasn't one-off. I remember that I did something like that on my Royal Rogue channel for Omid Scobie. It wasn't one-off, and that was it. So that's not something that I'm going to repeat anytime soon. Again, no problems on YouTube, and YouTube didn't have any problems, so that is nice. But it is bad juju that, that ad hominem attacks. I am against it. When the policies are so bad, we need to talk about other things like my merch. You know that this month, from this moment and all over December, I have all these exclusive collections that I had at some point. Had these exclusive collections like the My Name is Jesus Enrique Rosas collection. It was a limited time collection, and it is available right now with the link. I have 2 shops. This is in the first shop that you will find it. And the second shop, you can find my Royal Rogue exclusive collection that was also a limited time issue, and you have the opportunity. If you miss it, if you didn't get the pillow, for example, or the notebook, or the poster frame of the Royal Rogue, the Highlander Jesus Enrique Rosas, you can get it right now with the link. That is the second shop that you will find in the link, the description of this video. We have also Christmas ornaments. What else do we have? We have the hoodies, we have the shirts, we have everything that you need is in those 2 links. I still don't know. I don't have the ability to insert those links in the video itself, but you can visit, you can get them. Remember, once December is through. We have not started December yet, but we are about to. When December is through, it is going to be gone forever. So get yours. Get all your merch. It's all open, so you can get all that you want, and you can use it. A great gift for your friends, because your friends watch my show, right? You recommend my show to friends. You have to subscribe and like. I mean, it's great. It's great when I receive messages of people. Oh, you know that we were talking the other day. We were having a good time between friends and family, and we were recommending your show. And we were talking about, but we want more body language analysis. Today we have a body language analysis. Whenever you get a nice topic, remember to tag me on X. That is the quickest way to get my attention. You can tag me on X. You can send me messages on X. Send me any kind of topic. There is a new Netflix documentary about John Bennett Ramsey, the John Bennett Ramsey case, by the way. I already got it. I already got the videos. That analysis is coming maybe tomorrow, maybe in 2 days, but that analysis is coming. There's fresh. I don't know if it's fresh, but there's interviews of John Bennett's father, mother, and a couple more stuff. And so many of you are so fans of true crime, and I have no problem. Usually have no problem. At some point I try to dedicate myself to that, but it's, can be draining. So I prefer to talk about politics sometimes, or crazy liberals like this lady. Like this lady that, yes, she is, this is not AI. This is an actual, yeah, this is like she's doing voodoo stuff. Like she's doing some kind of voodoo stuff. And we like to talk when liberals lose their minds. And this is from CNN. And you know that CNN is in trouble. CNN is in trouble because they are laying off a lot of people. It's like MSNBC. You know that Rachel Maddow is going to be paid $5 million less. Friendly reminder that she's paid $30 million a year. $30 million a year. Rachel Maddow is paid $30 million a year for one show a week. I'm going to tell you, I want that kind of money. That's why I'm wearing my golden tie, to attract wealth. I want to attract wealth. Lord, I have seen what you have given to so many people, and I want that wealth in my life. I want that wealth for my lovely body language bodies as well. To everybody who aspires to wealth, I want that wealth for you. But $30 million a year for one show a week. God, but it's not $30 million a year anymore. It's $25 million a year. So she is, I think that the calculations was like she was not going to be paid $600,000 a show, but $500,000. Oh, that is such a shame. $500,000 for one show. That would be nice. That would be nice. But it's Rachel Maddow. I hope that Elon Musk buys MSNBC and tortures her in some way. I don't know. Joe Rogan already said that he was game for having a show in MSNBC, dressed like Rachel Maddow and telling the same lies. That is great. You are paid $500,000 to tell lies to the public. I would be okay with, I don't know, half of that telling the truth to the public. I don't know, but you have to remember to dream big. You have to dream big, my lovely body language bodies. We have this zero self-awareness. CNN's Carrie Champion, who warns that free speech won't be as free under Trump, calls for speech regulations on X. You're already claiming that free speech is not going to be as free under Trump, but at the same time you say that X should be controlled. What is this? What is this? What is this? No one's regulating the N word. Well, it depends. It depends. I have never used the N word. I don't think it's necessary. I don't listen to hip hop or that kind of music, so I don't even need to use it in a musical way. No one's regulating the criticism. No one is regulating how people are treated. I have some harsh words. I use the R word every now and then. That's something. But let's say what this lady says. Let's see what this lady says, and especially her body language. Her body language. Some of you are saying that you want merch with Keir Starmer's face. For legal reasons, you have to be careful. And you have to be careful if you're going to sell things with other people's faces. I can sell things with my face because I own the rights to my face and likeness. But selling things with other people's faces, and by the way, who will want to wear a shirt with Keir Starmer's face? I wouldn't. I mean, the closest thing that I did back then was to create this shirt of thank God Meghan is not coming. That That's sold pretty well. You can get, thank God Megan is not coming in my collection, by the way. But let's watch this clip. Let's watch this clip to see if this makes sense in any way. Oh, it is muted. Sorry. Now you can speak your racial baiting.
Platforms are not regulated right.
Yes, the volume could be.
Platforms are not regulated right now, which gives them carte blanche to whatever they want right now. Elon is not someone who likes to be regulated. And so to buy MSN, he would go under some federal regulations.
Who's regulating CNN right now?
It's important. Who is regulating CNN? By the way, is there any regulations of who is the editor? Who controls what is said on CNN or MSNBC? Is there some kind of Is there a conflict of interest in there?
FCC.
We're not a broadcast. It's cable. I mean, I don't.
Okay, yeah, it's like she already got it wrong. She said the FCC, but CNN is seems that it's not broadcasting. It's not the same as broadcasting as in being cable. Big distinction. It's like in YouTube. It's like broadcasting through YouTube or X or Rumble. You have to agree to the terms and conditions of the platform. I agree to the terms and conditions, and I try to behave by the terms of and conditions as long as I abide by those laws, so to speak, that everybody's going to be fine. But I think this lady is clueless.
FCC.
We're not a broadcast. It's cable. I mean, I don't really think cable stations are under the same regulatory structure It doesn't go over public airwaves.
that
broadcast is.
It's definitely regulated more than than Facebook, and there's.
And it's more regulated. That the good thing is that CNN is more regulated than Facebook. And Facebook, by the way, nowadays is just AI slop. It's just fake news. Something that if you have your grandma, if your grandma is alive or your grandfather is alive, please do something about Facebook, because you know that they are getting their news from Facebook, and like 60%, 70%, I don't know what percent of news there is completely made up, or lies, or either fake news or AI slop. That is not good for anybody, because that just triggers anxiety, unless you want people to. You can recommend people to go to gather news from Meta, from Facebook, if you want them to have some kind of anxiety attack, which I don't advise. That would be way too cruel. But there's that tool there, just in case if you need it, I guess.
Facebook and
there's
Twitter.
still, what she's saying is that there's still a litmus test of journalism that you have to pass. You can't come on TV and just make on
journalism. She said the word journalism. I'm going to tell you. Journalism, and I understand. I know that many of you that watch my show are journalists. Maybe you studied journalism. But there's the thing. The bad thing is that so many people, like people in CNN and people in MSNBC, people in this media, have done everything in their power to make journalism at the level of prostitution. Like in prostitution, you're talking about your body. In this case, you're talking about your pen and paper. It's like you're prostituting your pen and paper. You're not doing journalism. You're just a prostitute for the puppet masters, to the people in charge, the ones who pay the bills. That is not journalism. On X, you could do journalism. You could do actual journalism, but in this case, well, you have to finance yourself. Tough choice. You can do the prostitutive, or how this there should be a combination between prostitution and journalism. Whatever they are doing in these outlets, which is not journalism, and be financed by them, but at the same time, You know that you cannot do research on big pharma because they literally pay these platforms for existing. Or you can go to X and do the journalism yourself and try to finance yourself. You know, that's something that some of us have worked for years to build, something that you might not have heard in some time, which is credibility. You know that yesterday we were talking about how mandate or government is legitimate and Keir Starmer's government is not legitimate. Well, it's in journalism, you need credibility, and you need to build that credibility. And it's not like just your credibility is attached from CNN because, oh, I work for CNN and that is enough. No, today we need the credibility directly from, this is prostitutes. Who said that prostitutes? Let me see who said that word. I had to highlight. They're all prostitutes. Quiet girl. For a quiet girl, when quiet girl speaks, quiet girl, you're absolutely worth it. Golden comment. I think I have heard that before, but I absolutely did not remember that that word. Credibility. This is what they want. Oh, we have credibility because I work at CNN. That doesn't work anymore. And they have X accounts. They pretend to have X accounts, and all that they do is, it's just replicate whatever the slop they say on their shows, on their programs, whatever it's called. So it's not authentic. You know that when one goes on a rant like yesterday, like I did, that we are trying to be authentic in the sense of speaking our minds. Maybe you disagree with some of my stances. Maybe you disagree with some of my opinions. Maybe you disagree on the way I express them. But at least I crave authenticity. When I see that so many of the media, I'm talking about social media, is being all this, stale and formulaic. And no. We need people. And especially in the AI, in this AI avalanche, this AI craziness that is coming, and we see all this AI-generated people, AI-generated journalists, ChatGPT. No. You need authenticity. And not gonna lie, Peter Thiel has a very good thoughts about that. If you're a little bit racist, if you're a bit sexist, you will do well. Nothing's gonna happen to you. That is, it's not really a joke. It's not really a joke because we crave that authenticity of person to person, but these people have no clue. And I guess that Scott Jennings is going to be out at some point, sooner than later.
Things, make up things and say things. That happens on X. Please don't give me the eyebrow furrow as if you don't know what I'm talking about. It happens often on X. I can go and say the color is blue, and I will be met with so many disrespectful remarks.
Well, that is something true about X. And I made a joke about, it was in 2019, that I just posted an image of a cute cat, a kitty, and I said, I want to prove that Twitter, back then, in 2019, everybody can complain about anything and complain about this kitty. Oh, this kitty is too white supremacy. This kitty looks like he is capitalist because he is comfortable in a cozy home. People were joking about that, but in fact, X is like this. And you have to pick your poison, because if it's not like that, then you have Reddit. But in Reddit, you cannot exist as a right-wing or conservative commentator. You will be banned in minutes. In minutes. yeah, I don't know how Scott does it either.
No one's regulating the N-word. No one's regulating the criticism. No one is regulating how people.
I want to disagree with this. There are community notes in which you say something that is untrue, or it's partially false or partially true. Then community notes are really helpful on X to set the record straight, and everybody can be community note. And at the same time, if you go into hate speech, actual hate speech, it is hidden. It has happened to me many times that someone called you these names, and where? I don't see it because it is hidden. It automatically tries to protect you from hate speech, but sometimes there's too much hate speech. It can happen, of course, where there's storms of people that are organized, these bots that are organized. Remember Bowsy with Meghan and Harry? We spoke about that at large. But well, they moved to their own platform, and they couldn't stand the heat, especially after Elon bought the platform.
How much government regulation of the First Amendment are you for?
Let me tell you something. If I came on here and I just started calling you all kind of names, do you think the bosses would let me continue to do that?
I mean, it happens to me occasionally. I don't know if you watch
it
the
doesn't
show.
happen to you, but it doesn't happen for me. And I know that I wouldn't be able to do that. There's a level of professionalism in what we do here.
The answer that I would have given at that moment, that's what immediately popped up on my mind. I don't know. Did I deserve those names? If I'm a blockhead, if I act like a blockhead, do I deserve the term blockhead? Yes. It's like some of you, I know that some of you like Piers Morgan. I personally believe that Piers Morgan is a snake, and I have called him out many times because that guy just is like that thing with a chicken that you put in the houses to see where the wind. What is that? The name of that? What is the term? Wind vane. Wind vane. Is that wind vane? Yeah, a wind vane. A wind vane. Piers Morgan's like a wind vane. He's a snake. I used to like his takes. I used to like his stance. I still like his stance against woke stuff, the woke parasite virus. But in so many other things, that guy is right. What is the audience? What does the audience want? What does the audience want? No. You need to have principles, and so sometimes you have to go against your audience. I would know a thing or two about that. Again, I agree on some things with Piers Morgan, and it's nice that we agree on some things. But in other things, I think that he's a snake, and I would call him out on that. And it's the same. Would you be comfortable if I called you names? I don't know. If I deserve to be called a snake, then you are maybe in your right to do so. If you call me a snake and I feel that I don't deserve to be called a snake, I will tell you that to your face, and maybe I will file a defamation suit if it has some kind of merit, right? Yeah, a leaf blowing in the wind. A leaf blowing in the wind. I'm not going to lie. I have come clean about this many times. I was a people pleaser, and when you're a people pleaser, yeah, you are. I don't know. I need to be nice to everybody. I need to agree with everybody. I was that guy at some point. And that's why I tell you that you can, if you are a people pleaser, yes, you can get out of that. But it is gradually. It's not something that is going to happen overnight. But these people have no clue. They want to control the media, our media, in some way or another. They want to control our media some way or another. I say our media because the media is us right now. It's like that meme from Captain Phillips. Look at me. Look at me. I am the media now. We are the media now. You are the media now with your comments. That's why I love this. I love this. This live chat. Thank you, Samantha, for your super chat. Weather Vein Jesus. I'm trying to keep an eye on your comments. By the way, all right, I have my X Pro in here. Everything is going right. So let's talk about Gavin Newsom. Where's Gavin? Gavin was trending today. Gavin Newsom was trending today, and not Newsom. Newscom. It's always new scum every day. Every day is a different set of scum that we have to deal with. And what was going on with him? Let's analyze. I told you that we were going to analyze his body language, and that is exactly what we're about to do. But let's hear from the guy what he has to say.
We have a president-elect, and I'm one of those people. I revere the institution. I revere this country. I revere the presidency.
Let me raise the volume because I don't think that you're. Let me see my mixer. Make sure that.
And I want our president to succeed.
I want our president to succeed. I have some problems with his. First, he's using a very lousy way of recording this. You tell me that a governor doesn't have some kind of like the tiniest media department. A media department can be just one guy, okay? Whoever sets the camera and makes sure to edit what he does. It's not that you're gonna have like the whole selfie studio like Justin Trudeau. You don't have to go all the way, but at least you could record your voice better. Voice is very important, and no, he seems to not care much about that. And we have heard Gavin Newsom in videos with better audio. So what happened this time? Maybe he was not into that. He was not that much into praising Donald Trump as the new president of the United States.
We have a president-elect, and I'm one of those people. I revere the institution.
Notice that the first thing that he does, and when he says the words, we have a president-elect. How do you see his shoulders? How do you see his shoulders? He's like this. He's hunched. His shoulders are raised. He's in this defensive posture. He doesn't like it. He doesn't like what he's saying. It's after he says that he finally relaxes his shoulders.
I'm one of those people. I revere the institution.
When he says, I revere institution, that's when he relaxes his shoulders. But still, he presses his lips just a tad, just a bit.
I revere this country. I revere the presidency. And I want our president to succeed. And our job, my job, is not to wake up every single day and get a crowbar and try to put it in the spokes of the wheel.
I have heard Gavin Newsom speaking many times. You know that having a sense of what is someone's body language baseline, what is their usual body language, how is their usual rate of speech, how they communicate in as many videos as possible, you have a better idea. That way you have a better idea of what is their usual body language or their body language baseline. I don't remember the last time I heard him speaking with so many filler words. I mean, that's something that I have developed over time. I'm sure that he has developed over time. He already had the gift of gab, right? That silver tongue. I want to have the silver tongue in English. These lives are the perfect exercise every day to have that silver tongue at some point. But why does Gavin Newsom have so many filler words? Is he nervous? I don't think so. There's nobody around him. It's just a camera. Is he upset? Maybe. There's no reason that he has filler words if he knows what he's going to say. And once you have some experience with public speaking, as long as you don't use teleprompters all the time, which would be a very bad idea because sometimes you have to give speeches with just a mic You don't have teleprompters. You have to encourage people. And I know that Gavin Newsom has the ability to do that. There's so many options here. Let's hear a bit more. Let's listen a bit more of this.
And get a crowbar and try to put it in the spokes of the wheel of the Trump administration. And so again, in that spirit of an open hand, not a closed fist, that's how we want to proceed. That said,
here comes the part. You know that when I remember this Dilbert strip, this Dilbert comic, he said that you can say anything you want after, with all due respect. And that was a good joke. You can say anything you want after you say the words, with all due respect. Try not to do it at work, please. I am not responsible of how you use it. You can imagine how the joke goes. But this was his with all due respect. And now is when he's going to be the complaining and all the stuff that he really wants to say. You know, maybe that's the reason why he was mumbling and all those filler words, because this is what we're about to hear is what he really wants to say.
Fourth point, I'm not naive either. And we're pragmatic. And we will stand firm. I am reminded, there's a great old poem about, the winds may howl, but I will not be swept away.
Okay, that was anticlimactic. That was no. I really was hoping for something stronger. Something with more substance. Especially if you're going to cite a poem, it would help if you cite the poem and you say who wrote. Let's say if he says who wrote the poem.
This notion that we have to plant our feet.
Okay, he says
a poem about, the winds may howl, but I will not be swept away.
The winds may howl. Now that we're talking about wind veins, the winds may howl, but I will not be swept away. Who wrote this? I don't know. This is just a mess. There's so many. The things that. Who says this? Who said this? I'm trying to look for a source. Mike Duncan. I think it says. I think that Mike Duncan. All right. Yeah, it says it's Mike Duncan. But you know how difficult that is to confirm that. I just wanted to say that. He could have said, that gives you power. Just a tip, if you want to say that, if you want to cite a quote somebody, a poem or a passage or something, it is much more stronger when you mention the person, because that gives you, it is not a storytelling, but mentioning the person, the author of the quote, makes it more memorable and more impactful. Seems that Newsom doesn't care about any of this. He just wants to get this over. This is lazy. He looks lazy doing this way. Not that I care, really. It's his problem, not mine.
This notion that we have to plant our feet. And I remember, I'm not, I've been here long enough, having worked with the...
Okay, notice his eyes when he says the words, I have been here long enough.
And I remember, I'm not, I've been here long enough.
Oh, this is the pleasure. I have been long enough. He is delighted of having been there long enough. Destroying California, of course. Yeah, and I agree that it has been long enough. We need somebody to just replace him ASAP. You see the raising of the eyebrows. You see the long blink. A long blink is something that the person is not only blinking, like closing their eyes like this, but they have this sense of, in this case, delight and you see that their eyes close for, a longer time than a regular man.
And I remember, I'm not, I've been here long enough, having worked with
whom, Gavin? Having worked with
previous Trump administration. I'm not naive about those wins.
Okay, we'll talk about the wins again, and we still don't know who wrote the wins part. Again, it was lousy.
And they did howl. We were involved.
And they did howl. This is Kamala level. This is getting into Kamala Harris level territory. Kamala grade speech. I mean, we have a lot of work to do. 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 23 days, 23 days, 23 days. Yeah. Kamala could be the governor of California. I'm not gonna give her ideas, but this is the bar that anybody has to overcome to become governor of California. That's what I tell you. I am not afraid of repeating this once again. Meghan Markle speaks better than these people. And you know that Meghan Markle does not sound authentic. She does not sound authentic, but she speaks better than whatever is Gavin Newsom doing here, and seriously better than Kamala Harris, that's for sure. So Meghan has that.
Involved in over 100, well, in fact, we were involved in specifically 122 lawsuits with the Trump administration.
Okay, that is quite a lot. Why so much conflict, Gavin? Why so much conflict? Maybe you were fighting for a better California against the Trump administration? That is my question. Is California better right now, thanks to cooperating with the Biden-Harris administration? How many lawsuits did you have with the Biden-Harris administration? My guess is 0. I have no information about that. My guess is that it was 0, Gavin.
We know their playbook. We know what they're going to do. I talked a lot about the campaign, and I appreciated Kamala Harris's closing message about Donald Trump has an enemies list, and she said, have a to-do list.
I'm not going to say anything about that. I'm not going to say anything about that. I'm going to say something. It's not that Trump has an enemy list, but there are certainly enemies here. And you, Gavin Newsom, you are enemy number 1 of California. You have destroyed a beautiful state. We can rebuild California. We can get San Francisco back. We need you out as soon as possible. You need to be out as soon as possible.
I said I would make it a modest addendum to that. So did Donald Trump. That to-do list is laid out in a 922-page document, of which there's 270 specific points that he has publicly supported in that Project 2020.
I was about to say one of the strong words, F-sake. I cannot believe that by this point, they are still talking. I can understand, Gavin. Through Kamala Harris campaign, all you had was lies, all you had was hoaxes, all you had was Project 2025. I understand you had no policies. You couldn't help Kamala. Nobody could help Kamala in the least. She was alone. Obama was banging his head against the wall. Tim Walz tried to help her on that first CNN interview, and he said, "You know what? I'm out. I will not be with her in any other interview because this was embarrassing." And no, he wasn't with her in any other interview. But claiming to Project 2025 now is asinine. This tells you that these people have no clue. And my biggest concern is that there are still people voting for Democrats and liberals who then destroy their cities. And these people ask the question, oh, why is this happening to the city? You literally voted for this. You literally voted for the streets full of shit. You literally voted for that. Maybe that was not in the campaign. Maybe that was not outlined in the campaign. But those are the results. Streets full of poop, of human excrements, of people just totally zombified because of drugs, of homeless encampments, of things that I could describe in here, but it's not worth it at the moment.
D5 document, which 75% of its authors, and there's a multitude of authors, worked with the Trump administration. None of us are naive when he said he knew nothing about it. That is a to-do list. That is a playbook. The Heritage Foundation and others backing that playbook. You build on that.
The Heritage Foundation supported Kamala Harris, and they said that they had nothing to do with Donald Trump. By the way, Gavin.
Not naive.
No, you are not naive. We know that you are not naive. You're telling the truth, Gavin. You are not naive. You're just another politician who wants to put some kind of a strong face, and he's not wearing a suit, he's not wearing a tie, he's wearing what? An open color white shirt. The whiteness. Why is he wearing white? Why is he wearing white? You know, my lovely body language buddies, we have been together for so long. You know what wearing white means. I'm pure. My intentions are pure, but I am not naive. No, you're a demon. You're a devil. You have destroyed the livelihood of so many people, and so many companies have left California for Texas, and that is not good for the economy of your state, the state that people voted you to do something about it. And well, that's how it went. That's how it went. So this is the kind of things that I'm telling you. This is why I despise politicians so much. I wish this was more interesting, but yeah, it's something that you expect, right? We're going to analyze Gavin Newsom's body language. You know how it's going to go. But it's so blatant how they say these things to the camera. And I would say with a straight face, but he doesn't even have a straight face, but he has so many filler words that is embarrassing. Why do you sound? You want to put some kind of strong face against Donald Trump and Project 2025. Okay, do it. Go ahead. But at least speak like a man. Not with here and there. That doesn't work. That is so lousy. So amateur. You're an amateur, Gavin. I couldn't believe that I could say this without filler words myself. But I think it was time to do it. It was time to do a proper Gavin Newsom body language analysis. But today's show, it looks slightly pinkish Castellano because of this is another thing, the color mix. I'm going to say that some of my videos used to look like this, like red. This is the right color grading. This, what you see here is the actual color of my face, and I used to look like that. I'm not gonna lie, I can't make that mistake. But in my defense, I did my not color grading myself. I was really amateur at that. But that's why he looks red and the shirt looks pinkish. But well, today's show is gonna be a bit short. But it's 1 hour and 10 minutes. But because I need to prepare some more content, some recorded content that I have for you. You know that I'm always working hard for you, my body language buddies. Today we're going to so about 1 hour. Sometimes I do 2 hours. But the idea is to have the best content, and some content you have it released today as standalone videos, not what you saw on today's show, but additional content that I need to prepare. I need to give it a couple of reviews and give you the best content ever. Remember that in the description of this video, you have access to my 2 shops of merch, of limited merch that was not available until yesterday, and now is going to be available throughout December. All this limited edition stuff, like the Royal Rogue pillow, and you can sleep soundly with the Royal Rogue protecting your sleep. Or you can have my Much Love and Bliss limited edition. It was not available, and you can get it with the link in the description to my 2 shops. Why 2 shops? Well, because I've been a bit of a mess. I had 2 shops, and I switched them when I was working heavily with the Royal Rogue. And now, well, this is what we got. You can also get My Name is Jesus Enrique Rosas merch with the link in the description. Go and get it. And my body language buddies, my name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the body language guy. And until we meet tomorrow on, or maybe a bit later on some standalone videos, but tomorrow on episode 29, remember the most important words: much love and bliss. Take care. Be safe. I love every single one of you. Bye-bye.